So yesterday I had this problem where I had to collect a bunch of product information from a yarn site and put it into this spreadsheet for various reasons. And as I was going through, I realized that there's probably a better way of doing this. See here, I have to copy each one, flip back and forth between the tabs, scroll down at some point to get the length and so on. And once I did this a couple times, I realized, you know what? It's way easier if I just make a program do it. So welcome to a Selenium video. First off, I didn't remember how to start a Selenium project, so I Google searched it and went to the Get Started. And looks like it's pretty easy. I need a driver and a Python project. So first off, we need a driver. So I'm going to try to see if there's actually a link to the drivers that I need. There wasn't, so I just Google searched Chrome WebDriver because I'm going to use Chrome for this. And I just need to select the link and select one of the downloads, preferably the Windows one. And now I'm ready for a project. So I started a project out here in my PyCharm, and I just imported Selenium, and I'm importing .env so I can put the Chrome driver's location into the env so that I don't have to share my file structure with anyone on the internet. So I'm just going to set a config equal to the .env get values, and I'm just going to grab the Chrome location from that config dictionary. And let me just double check that I got that right. I'm just going to install this .env. Turns out I did not. And it's actually .env values. Now that should work. And I'm just going to tell it to get the web page that I was getting all the product list from. And I'm just going to add some carriage returns, new lines, in order to make it more readable. And so PyCharm doesn't get mad at me for the weird length of the line there. So just gonna do this. And now it's time to actually grab the elements off of the page after we load it. That's what driver.get means. So I'm just going to try to find the element, and that made me realize that I don't actually know what any of the elements in the page are. So I went ahead and opened it up in my Chrome, and I used Control-Shift-I to open up that console there. And I'm basically just going down the element tree until I find what the class of each component in this list is. That way I can grab all of the elements with that class, and that should give me the list of products in this list. So each of these is composed of another div that's a card, and then inside there's an A tag which has the link to the actual product page. So back in my code here, I'm going to find all the elements by class name, and the class name was product item, and that will give me a list of all of the cards in the results for that search. Then I need to make a list of the product links because that's what's really needed, because not all the information is right on the cards. So I'm doing a list comprehension, which is basically a for loop inside of a list declaration. And for each of the product items, I'm grabbing the A tag, and I'm going to find the href for that A tag, which is the link that the A tag is linking to. So let me just finish up there, attribute href. And now I can loop through each of the products in the product list and send the Selenium driver to that location. But I also realized that I want to double check that this actually produces a list of links. So I'm just going to print out that list. And looks like we ran into our first error. I don't have the Chrome driver in my path. This means that Selenium can't find the Chrome driver and can't use it to open a Chrome instance. So let's see how long it takes me to figure out this little goofy problem. Oh, that took way less time than I expected. Turns out that I just needed to put in an executable path instead of just passing it in like normal. So now I have a list of links. Okay, now I'm just going to get the length of those just to see how many items we're working with here. Come on. And it looks like we got 56 items. That would take a really long time to do by hand, so I'm really glad that I'm programming this thing. Now I'm writing a function that will process the data on the page. Basically just go through the routine of picking out the price, the fiber content, so on. And I'm just leaving myself a little bit of a comment here for the function, just so that I remember what's going on and what things do. And I'm just going to say that it returns a dictionary of the scraped data, and I'm going to list the data that's in that dictionary. So it's going to be the link, it's going to be the name of the product, it's going to be the fiber content of the product. That's like, you don't need to know about that. It's going to be the weight of the product. It's going to be the price of the product, so I can compare them. And it's going to be the length of the product. If I can get the actual name of that. Yep, the length in yardage of the product. And I'm just going to go to one of these pages with my elements opened in the side, and I'm just going to go through and figure out exactly what each section is called so I can use Selenium to call it up. So it looks like the product name is in the class product name. That's pretty helpful there. And it looks like some of the stuff I need is in the product info class. And it looks like the price is in the product price class. Current price, oh, what's old price? I guess old price would be like if it was on sale, what the old price is versus what the current price is. So maybe I'll just put in the old price there. And down here we have a detailed list. And if I inspect here, we can see the weight, the length, and it looks like the blend is also here, which is basically the fiber content. And you know what? I'm just going to use those because it looks like everything is down there where it's easier to access. And I'm just going to start with a dictionary here so that I can put everything into it. And I'm going back and forth on whether or not I'm passing the driver in so that I can grab the stuff there, but you know, I really do actually need the driver in here. I kind of went back and forth a little bit, but really I do need the driver so that I can get to the page and get all the elements from the page. So I'm going to grab the name by just saying the name is driver.findElement by class name.text, so it's the text inside that class, or a div with that class. The blend is just going to be the blend attribute.text, and that will just get the text inside the element that has the class name blend attribute. And I'm going to get the weight, and that's similar to the blend. And it's where I realized that I was basically building the dictionary on the outside of the dictionary anyway. So I'm just putting everything inside there. And just replacing all the class names, looking back and getting them, price, length, and I think that's it. So we should be able to just run this code and get ourselves a list of dictionaries. So I'm going to go ahead and open a JSON file so I can put all of my stuff into there so I don't accidentally lose it if I try to run the code again. And I'm just going to dump the list, and I'm doing another list comprehension here. For each of those, I'm going to process the page. It's going to return the dictionary, and it looks like it's going through each page. And it's just going to open one, scan it, open the next one, scan it, open the next one, and so on. And now we've reached the end. And let's look at the JSON. So it looks pretty good, except it looked like it missed all of the prices. So I'm going to go try doing this one element at a time. And when I tried running it again, I got this stale element reference. What that means is that an element that is being referenced by the WebDriver is no longer in the DOM, which means the structure of the page. And that means that it just, poof, disappeared and can't be used anymore. So what I'm trying here is to make it wait until the page is fully rendered so that the elements don't just disappear again. So now I'm not getting anything except the name and the link. So let me try making it sleep more. Okay, now I'm getting everything except the price again. Okay, so there's got to be a way to grab the price because we see it on the screen. So I'm going to try just restructuring things so I can see them better. That didn't work out actually. So now I'm going to try going with the other class, the old price, instead of old price default. And now we've got the stale error, and then we didn't, but now we're missing the length and the price. Okay. What else could it be? Okay, what if I just take out all of the elements from the dictionary and put them outside before putting them into the return dictionary? Let's see if that works. So I'm just going to copy and paste them up to above just to see if separating them from the same line-ish will do anything. Okay, so let's see if that works. And we're still having the same problems. So let's just print them out and see what happens. We're still getting elements, so okay, still getting elements, still no price. What if we just say price? Does that work? Yeah, now we don't have anything else. Okay, let's wait. Let's try it again. Still nothing. What if we wait twice? Nope. Okay, what if we... Okay, that worked. Don't know why that worked, but that's how coding works sometimes. So I'm going to slide everything in again, try running it, and we're running again. And this is just the exact same thing where it's opening each page, running through, grabbing the data, closing it, moving on. I also added a little bit of code that would close the Chrome instance at the end. And let's see here. Okay, looks like everything has a price. This one's still missing a length, but that looks pretty good. Wonderful. So I'm actually going to clean up this data off camera so that I can put it into that Excel spreadsheet that you saw at the beginning, or I guess Google spreadsheet that you saw at the beginning. And I ended up with this. And it's all cleaned. It's converted into grams, which is I need for the weight. It's removed all of the extraneous stuff, like the length is an integer instead of adding the units on top. And this is exactly what I need. Hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.